And no subs for either team here to start the second half.
Generally in this tournament, we've seen the subs start to roll about 60th, 65th minute. And as we mentioned in the first half, Josh, with the exception of Andy Sullivan being out for the Washington Spirit, I would say this is your best 11 for both of these clubs. If the players still feel good, still looking good, don't change it if you don't have to.
Josh Tolan, Jen Cooper with you once again right here on Twitch as long ball is played over the top. Hatch chipping it over. No one in the vicinity for the Spirit.
And keep the comments coming, fans, on Twitch, Twitter, wherever. We've had some great suggestions to name this rivalry since it's the East Coast equivalent of the Cascadia rivalry.
And we'll have a foul here.
I think best suggestion so far, the Nor'easter or the Acela, and I hope I'm saying it right, that's A-C-E-L-A, referencing Amtrak in that area, which I think is, I love anything that has kind of a specific geographic reference.
And now we do have a ball as that's put in by Freya Coombe. So Freya
Doing
Coombe doing a little bit of
ball
work.
kid duty. Yeah, no ball kids in the bubble for this tournament. You can see on the sideboards there's some balls in position in case players need to grab one.
Kawasumi playing it down the line, looking for Zerboni. And that will hit off Nielsen, it looked like. That should be a corner. Oh, they're going to say that did not hit Nielsen, so we'll have a goal kick.
I like the reaction from McCall Zerboni. Are you kidding me?
McCall Zerboni in her first season with Sky Blue FC. Definitely adding more depth in the midfield.
So many acquisitions in the offseason. The good look there with Freya Coombe, and to her right, Becca Moros, who played most of the seasons of NWSL. She retired after last year. She played with Utah. Now she's back where she grew up. Basically, she grew up in Manhattan. One of many former players becoming an assistant coach in NWSL.
Yokoyama plays it out. Hatch with the left, and that one wide. Well, Hatch looking to get on the score sheet here early in the second half.
Much like she did in the second half in their opening game, where she had a goal in the second or third minute of the second half. Getting that shot off just wide, no need for Sheridan to make a save. Sheridan, of course, getting the goal kick here.
Sheridan 4 saves in the first half. She had a big one against Ashley Sanchez. We showed that in the highlights. Sheridan's going to have to come up big once again as Huster slowly moves up. Yokoyama. Back to Huster, plays it in. Anamanu. That one chopped out momentarily. Dorsey. That one just out of the reach of Naho Kawasumi. Naho with 90 international caps with Japan.
She was hoping to make it back onto the squad for the 2019 World Cup. With the changeover of coaches after they didn't make the Olympics in 2016, Japan started going very young, developing future players. She requested the trade from OL Reign to somewhere where she could get more playing time, but of course she did struggle with injury last year. She didn't really have a chance with Japan.
And Sheridan just easily scoops this up. Once again, though, Ashley Hatch, they're trying to poach on that direct ball. Right now, Spirit here early, trying to stretch that back line of Sky Blue FC. Give Hatch a chance to get loose. As Cujo turns it over, Sanchez. Bailey to Jacobs. Sanchez turns, and coming back to help is Zerboni. Zerboni plays it outside to Dorsey. Dorsey making her 3rd straight start here for Sky Blue FC. She spent all 3 seasons with Sky Blue.
Drafted out of Duke. 1st round pick in 2018. Surprisingly, did not earn a contract with the club basically until the 3rd month of the season. Still went on to win Rookie of the Year honors in 2018.
See if Purse sneaks up a little bit more this 2nd half, trying to get involved in the attack.
Midge Purse, another 1st round pick herself from 2017.
Zerboni calm, just waiting to set things up. Cujo. Hatch looking to turn, but right there is Lewandowski stepping forward. Yokoyama is going to be called offside. She tried to time that run. If she just holds up for a half a second, she's going to have a great chance. We've seen when that back line of Sky Blue pushes forward to the midfield, Washington trying to go over the top and take advantage.
Freya Coombe really expecting that back line to push up much higher than they did last season. Yokoyama smart to try to take advantage.
One of the keys that Richie Burke talked about in this one is not to be anxious, and so far for the Spirit, they have been pretty calm in this one. Walmo sets up for the free kick. Sends that to the 6, and right there is Aubrey Bledsoe. Walmo trying to line that one up, just too much power on that pass attempt. Yokoyama spinning away from Walmo, chasing her down is Cujo, and Cujo trips her up from behind. Cujo, one of those, well, now 5 players for Sky Blue on a yellow card. Estelle Johnson was handed the yellow card in the 1st half for Sky Blue FC.
So if Estelle gets another in this game, she leaves the field immediately and misses the semifinal if they advance. The other 4 players, if they get a yellow in this game, they miss the semifinal due to yellow card accumulation. After these quarterfinals, everybody's yellow card history is erased. Everybody starts with a clean slate if they reach the semifinals, much like the World Cup format.
Portland and Houston have already booked their way to the semifinals. First game today, Washington Spirit and Sky Blue, and then we'll have OL Reign and the Chicago Red Stars for you here tonight on Twitch. Yokoyama. Hatch. At the end line, flag was down. Yokoyama lines up, and that one rattles off the crossbar. And then put back in. Sanchez played that to Jacobs, and Sheridan able to make the stop.
Yokoyama just getting closer and closer. First ball into Hatch. Sky Blue back line thinking it was offside. Flag stays down. They send the ball back to Yokoyama. Gets the shot up with the right foot. Hits the crossbar. Sheridan making the save on the follow-up play.
Yokoyama has had chances here in this NWSL Challenge Cup, looking for that NWSL goal. She has 17 and 43 caps with Japan.
And you can even go back to 2010. I mean, you need to Google these FIFA videos. She played in the U17 Women's World Cup in 2010. Played 6 games, scored 6 goals, helped Japan to 2nd place. Even had one of her goals nominated for the prestigious Puskas Award. That's basically the Goal of the Year award from FIFA. And they don't separate it by category. It's men, women, all ages, club, country. Her goal was compared to the Diego Maradona goal, not the Hand of God one, the other one from the semifinal against England back in 1986. Like, to be compared to Maradona at 16,
Yeah, in that one, she just weaves through traffic, somehow
Right.
possessing the ball. We've seen her do that throughout this tournament.
Definitely worth a Google. And she spent much of her pro career to date in Japan. She did spend some time in Germany.
7 years in Japan, I believe it was 1, if not 2, with FFC Frankfurt. Monahan, Purse looking to squeeze through 2 defenders. Zerboni. Johnson. Walmo, threaded ball to Dorsey. An offside flag was up. Good build up there by Sky Blue FC, building with patience. Just could not time that final run.
Great work combining Onomonu and Dorsey. Onomonu probably had their most dangerous attempt in the first half.
I have a feeling Washington's going to get over that 400 mark today as this is played up.
Or 500.
A dangerous ball there. Lewandowski was playing it back to Sheridan. Hatch was still in the area, put pressure on Sheridan. Sky Blue ultimately retained possession. But Hatch, that's how she scored her first goal of this tournament, by pressuring in the first game Chicago's Alyssa Nair.
What a great poacher, and we mean that in the best way. You cannot give her an inch.
Zerboni goes out wide. Kawasumi will get send it in, steps forward. Zerboni spins away. Like she was trying to lift that one over the back line, just could not get enough height on the pass. Making a run in the area was Kawasumi. You can see the thought process there, just could not finish the execution. Kick coming for Sky Blue FC. Try and take advantage of this opportunity.
Getting close to that 60th minute mark, Josh, when we start to see the subs. No subs from either team yet. And important to note, we have 5 Iron Women in this game. Sam Staub, Paige Nielsen have played every minute for Washington Spirit. And of course, Gina Lewandowski, Naho Kawasumi, and Sarah Waldmo every minute for Sky Blue.
This one sent in. Yokoyama doing a good job coming back, winning the ball from Purse. Hatch. A hard tackle there by Yokoyama. Jacobs. Now we've seen more aggressive tackles between both these squads. Cujo looking for Monahan as she's knocked off the ball. This will stay in Sky Blue's possession. Paige Monahan, the first player ever drafted out of Butler University.
Had a great breakout performance last summer, getting 2 second-half goals to help Sky Blue beat Chicago. That's a good one to look up on YouTube as well. Or you can even go to NWSLsoccer.com and click on last year's schedule and find it.
And taking off the penny on the sideline is Rose Lavelle, so I think she's going to sub in here in just a matter of minutes, it looks like.
Lavelle with Washington's opening goal in the first game when they won 2-1 against Chicago. Lavelle not getting a lot of time with Washington Spirit last year, mostly because of the World Cup, also dealing with a few injuries. One of the unplanned benefits of the quarantine and the shutdown from COVID was players getting extra rest. National team has not played, has not come together since the She Believes Cup in March.
Cujo, Zerboni. This is played back by Bailey. Bailey having a solid game filling in for the injured Andy Sullivan. She's had an important role linking with that back line, specifically with Sam Staub and Paige Nielsen as Bailey controls.
Richie Burke has spoken very highly about her ability to play multiple positions. She had an incredible passing rate of 100% in the game versus Houston, and that's playing the full 90 minutes.
And now we will have substitutions. And here we will have Rose Lavelle make an appearance as she will replace Natalie Jacobs. As we take a look back at this goal by Rose Lavelle, following up on the rebound, just skies it into the top corner. Hatch doing a good job getting a shot on target on Nair, and the follow-up by Lavelle.
I like that Lavelle created that goal and finished that goal.
And then also subbing on for Washington will be Crystal Thomas, making her first appearance here in this NWSL Challenge Cup. She replaces Kumi Yokiyama. And then on the other side for Sky Blue, Sabrina Flores will replace Midge Purse. The only one I would argue would be that one with Kumi Yokiyama coming off. But Crystal Thomas now getting her first action.
Well, it seems like all of Yokiyama's appearances, she's been held to 60 to 70 minutes. So could be a fitness plan, a player rotation plan by Richie Burke. Sabrina Flores, of course, she started in Midge Purse's normal spot in the game against North Carolina. A 2018 draftee by Sky Blue who didn't really get a spot on the squad till last year as a NTR, national team replacement player / supplemental player. Just signed a 2-year contract before this tournament with the New Jersey club.
Grady lines up next to Tori Huster. Huster, the only player over 30 on this Washington Spirit team. Towards the 6, headed up, and Feist directed that on frame. Sheridan, though, in the right spot once again. Sheridan has been tested this afternoon, and she has come up big.
She's had a lot more work to do than Aubrey Bledsoe. This is definitely Washington's game to win or lose, especially bringing in a player of Rose Lavelle's caliber as a sub. Of course, we all remember her amazing goal, the second goal against Netherlands in the World Cup final. Basically the goal that earned her the bronze ball.
Lavelle in possession. Nielsen to Staub. Staub and Nielsen have played every minute. I have a feeling we're not going to see those two sub out for Washington. Probably won't even see the 3 for Sky Blue sub out. Huster. And that one cleared away by Johnson.
And there's only 2 other Iron Women from the first round, Abby Urseg, and now her tournament's done after the quarterfinal. Katie Naughton with Houston. Of course, they will play in the semifinal next Wednesday against Portland. And we hope to soon have the voting links. Fans will get to vote on some of the award categories. The links should be coming out tomorrow for fans to start voting. Make sure you're following NWSL on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, everywhere.
Hatch, and right at the top of the box is Kaylin Sheridan. Great ball there from Sam Stops, sending that all the way down. Tough decisions for these keepers sometimes of when to pick their time to come out. Kaylin Sheridan has timed all those perfectly today for Sky Blue. For Aubrey Bledsoe, she's just seen one shot on target. Sheridan has seen 5 so far in this one.
And as we saw last night in that crazy Houston-Utah matchup, the keepers can make such a difference. Possession's only going to mean so much if you can't get it past the keeper.
Thomas. Zerboni towards the touchline. Thomas plays it down the line, looking for Hatch. Hatch is going to run out of room as she hits the inboards hard. She's able to get up. Soccer fans, the official shop of the NWSL is now open. Visit NWSLshop.com now and sign up to be the first to receive special offers and promotions. NWSLshop.com, the official place to gear up and support your favorite team.
International shipping will be available soon from the shop, and of course, they do plan to add jerseys down the line. Right now, some supply chains affected by COVID has prevented that from being able to launch right now, but there's merch for every team, including the expansion team, Challenge Cup merch, a Pride tee, and of course, every NWSL club does have its own online store, many of which do offer international shipping. Even NWSL Players Association, they teamed up with Soccer Girl Problems. They're selling masks and t-shirts.
I saw a great Challenge Cup hoodie on there that I'm going to have to purchase.
And one jersey for every team.
Yep.
Once you decide which player on each team you want to have their jersey for.
Lavelle sends it in, and that one played away by Lewandowski. Lavelle had a couple players right at the 6. If Lewandowski does not get her head on that, that would be a dangerous opportunity. Never hurts to have a pro with the experience that Lewandowski does on that back line. Her and Estelle Johnson, for that matter.
Especially when you think the players that Lewandowski spent most of her career in Germany defending. Jennifer Marchand, so many great players from the German national team. Other international stars, a lot of stars playing in Frauen Bundesliga.
Bailey looking to give it to Staub, who's playing well up. Seen Staub a couple different times this Challenge Cup play up in that final third from that center back position.
And we saw her great header goal, the equalizer against Portland last weekend.
Lavelle loops it across, no one there for the Spirit. As this deflects off a couple different players, as now Nielsen chases it down. Now there's one keeper uniform I'm interested in, is that maroon one that Aubrey Bledsoe's wearing.
I like she's wearing, it looks like the short sleeve version of it. Often you only see the long sleeve version, but they rarely make the short sleeve available for retail for whatever reason.
Zerboni try to thread that one back to Kawasumi. You can see the chemistry between those two here today. They've just been unable to finish at the end. It's Two players with great soccer IQ. They're nearly linking up. Monahan. Zerboni will play this back. Winner of this moves on to the semifinal to play either OL Reign or Chicago. That will be our next game tonight at 10 Eastern. We've already seen one game here in this quarterfinal go to PKs, and that was last night's between Utah and Houston, as Monahan has some room to work with. Sends it in near post. That one cleared out. The follow-up, that one bombed by Dorsey. Dorsey with a rocket from her leg. That one had some power behind it. If that's not blocked by that back row, she could very well have easily challenged Aubrey Bledsoe. Flores. Back post, headed down and just too hard. Onumonu had a great chance, but just the trajectory was not there.
Against the run of play, Josh, Sky Blue is suddenly threatening Washington's goal. Great ball from the outside. Smart for Onumonu to think, hit it down, but the pace that she put on that made that bounce so high it went over goal. No save for Bledsoe to make.
She just got over the top of the ball on that one. Great chance miss there.
What power she had on that header.
Everything was done right except for at the very end. And still scoreless here between Washington and Sky Blue. But now we're seeing Sky Blue with a little bit more momentum changing in their direction.
We've seen upsets already. Portland upsetting #1 seed North Carolina.
Could we have the number 7 team possibly upset the number 2 team?
And Sky Blue having only scored in one match, getting 2 goals against Houston, but they've played one of the stingiest defenses of the tournament.
You can say Kaylin Sheridan probably now in that top spot in saves here in this NWSL Challenge Cup. She has been magnificent today. Diagonal ball to Sanchez. Sanchez loses possession. Monahan turns away. For Sky Blue FC, they have yet to score a goal in the second half. Both those goals against Houston coming in the opening 45 minutes.
And we should point out, Josh, Jennifer Cujo, this is the longest she has played in any of the matches. Her minutes have gotten slowly longer and longer and longer. She had played 70 minutes against North Carolina. This is the longest she's been in the match for Sky Blue. You can see she's more and more comfortable.
I think the trio of her, Zerboni, and Waldmo in the midfield is the perfect one that Freya Coombe has found. Sanchez. Looking for Thomas. And once again, back is McCall Zerboni. She is one of those midfielders that can play box to box.
Incredible stamina, incredible fight.
Thomas sends it in. Looking for Huster, but once again, this shot is Huster trying to poke it by. Huster off from that back line, nearly getting one by Sheridan, but Sheridan once again with another great save.
Sheridan has had a lot of great kick saves in this tournament, that one included. That would have been the first goal for Huster in 4 seasons. Of course, she's played every season of her NWSL career with Washington Spirit. One of just 7 players in the league who have played every season with the same club.
Lewandowski. Whole team's pushing up more with their back line, trying to get that goal. were talking about this last night. It's tough to see a game go to PKs. Walmo. She'll switch sides, but no one up front for Sky Blue FC. The Spirit, 2 wins in the preliminary round. Only team other than North Carolina with multiple wins during that stage.
And only team with no yellow cards from the first round. Still no yellows. 5 New Jersey players sitting on yellows. Of course, this game hasn't been too feisty. This second half hasn't been too Bailey feisty, should we say.
I like that. I like that play. I don't think we're going to see 6 yellow cards in this one like we did last night. But the one thing we could see is this go to PKs.
Only once in this matchup have these teams played a scoreless game, back in June 2018. And it sounds like it's about sub time, Josh. Three subs coming up for Sky Blue. And 1 more coming up for Washington. Each team allowed up to 5 subs. And if you want to sub in somebody with a thought towards PKs, you have to do it in regulation. Once the whistle's blown, you cannot sub in anybody else. You know, I would assume, Josh, if it does go to PKs, Naho Kawasumi has to take one. You know, Japan winning on penalties in the 2011 Women's World Cup.
We know Walmo is going to be in that as well.
Of course. She's the only player on the Sky Blue roster who has taken an NWSL PK.
They're a great look at the 4 players about to sub in. 3 for Sky Blue, 1 for the Spirit. That's the question, is who do you want to possibly take a PK at the end? Sanchez turns away.
And of course, you hope you don't have to.
And now we will see those subs come in. So Elizabeth Eddy will come on, as well as Dami Richardson and Erica Skrosky. We're going to have the hydration break. So we will take a break here, and then we will fill you in on those substitutions when we return. You're watching the NWSL on Twitch. Josh Toll and Jen Cooper with you. Scoreless here in the afternoon game between the Washington Spirit and Sky Blue FC. Kaylin Sheridan has made some great stops here to keep her team alive. We will have 1 substitution for the Spirit. Avery Collins will sub on, and she'll replace Ashley Sanchez.
Sanchez, I would say, I would name my player of the match so far. Of course, that could all change if we get a goal, or if, dare I say it, we have another penalty kick shootout. There's always a hero and a goat from a PK shootout.
And now the substitutions for Sky Blue FC. Dami Richardson will come in for Jennifer Cujo. You will also have Elizabeth Eddy in for Paige Monahan, and Erica Skrosky will come in for Amana Dorsey.
Skrosky, another player who spent her whole pro career with Sky Blue, of course, staying right where she played collegiate soccer at Rutgers. Richardson has been part of the Sky Blue team since 2016. She got her first goal just last fall in their season finale.
A little bit more than 10 minutes remaining in this one. Of course, we will have stoppage time.
Elizabeth Eddy last season playing for North Carolina asked for a trade so she could get more playing time. Of course, North Carolina's starting 11 hard to break into. Eddy did get a goal for Sky Blue in their first ever game at Red Bull Arena last August. And that is now the permanent home for the club. Of course, no home games this season.
Left-footed ball, and nodding that down is Flores. Eddie with her first touch. Richardson plays it back. Eddie trying to slide by two defenders. And Bailey will relay this one back to Sam Staub.
We're past the 80th minute, Josh, actually almost past the 81st minute. Goals after the 80th minute, we've had 6 of them, 4 of them game winners. Several games in this tournament decided by 1 goal.
Will one of these teams be the 5th game winner as this is played over the top and going up to play that once again, Gina Lewandowski. Lewandowski has been absolutely terrific in that back row for Sky Blue FC.
And Crystal Thomas has a great opportunity in her first appearance. She was clutch a few times last season for the Spirit. In her first full year under contract, she was signed by the Spirit in 2017 and then had to be cut when suddenly Mallory Pugh became available and decided to go pro instead of going to college, but worked her way back in. Pugh, of course, traded to Sky Blue in the offseason, but out for this tournament.
Service to the 6, and that one bounces right into the arms of Kaylin Sheridan. Great ball in. Unfortunately for the Spirit, no one could get a run at the ball. And now Anamanu at midfield. Comes near side. Eddie trailing back is McGrady. Richardson. And no one on the back post for Dami Richardson.
I don't know, Josh, it looks like our nor'easter might be heading to penalties.
I like it. The new rivalry name.
It'll be a cold day in hell before either of these teams cedes ground.
Collins gets by Lewandowski. Collins to her right foot, and coming up was Flores to play that one away from danger. Collins won a national championship at Stanford. She was driving through the box, and stepping up was Flores to play the ball away.
Collins, of course, playing against a lot of her old college teammates here. Tegan McGrady out of Stanford, of course, Jordan DiBiase and Andy Sullivan not on the field. Or Jay Bossieri.
There's Paige Nielsen getting up. Paige Nielsen, her 3rd season, and she slowly walks away. She'll play every minute, it looks like, here of this game.
3rd season with the Spirit. Had played briefly with the Reign in 2016 before playing abroad. Another great free kick opportunity for the Spirit. They've seen a lot this game.
Huster. Vela came on as a sub about 15 minutes ago as she loses possession.
Great work with her head to try to keep that ball in Washington's possession. And we've got one more sub coming in for Sky Blue. That'll be their 5th sub, the last sub that they can make in this game.
Zerboni to Skrosky.
Washington still sitting on 2 subs that they can use.
Eddie, and that one hits off Washington, and now Sky Blue here with the corner. Paige Nielsen is the player down for Washington. It might have just hit her wrong on the side. And she's slow to get up. Aubrey Bledsoe has 1 clean sheet in this Challenge Cup. That one coming in that 1-0 win against Houston. For Sheridan, she has 2, as Nielsen is able to get up and walk off. And now McCall Zerboni will line up in the near corner. We have seen goals come from corner pieces, 3 in total.
You can hear Aubrey Bledsoe commanding her box.
And Walmo took that one. Zerboni was right there as she walked away.
Tori Penso blowing the whistle.
And now we'll see that substitution for Sky Blue FC. So that will bring in Evelyn Vian, and she'll replace Ifeoma Onomonu.
Evelyn Vian, first-round pick this year out of South Florida. First player drafted into NWSL from South Florida. Canadian international, has not yet seen time with the senior Canadian team, but I would think that would be in her future.
See Vian subbing late in these games. You have to think maybe also being used.
We've seen 2 2020 draftees score already. Sarah King, of course, for Utah.
And Morgan Weaver, the other one for
Morgan
Portland.
Weaver, the game winner for Portland yesterday against North Carolina. Both first-round picks. And of course, the college draft will be part of how Racing Louisville FC builds their roster. Of course, there'll be an expansion draft at some point. Usually the previous expansion clubs have been allowed to pick up to 10 players from existing clubs. Of course, the clubs can protect some of their players, but we'll have to wait to see what the rules will be for the Louisville expansion draft.
Nielsen sends it in with the right foot. And Feist will run out of room. Feist and Collins were in the area for the Spirit. Feist, the game winner in the game against Houston. Spirit and Sky Blue looking for some late game heroics to prevent this game from going to a PK shootout. We saw the game last night between Houston and Utah go that way. Houston winning 3-2 on PKs as that one goes off of McCall Zerboni. And now we will have a kick for the Spirit as Lavelle gives it to McGrady, gets it right back. Lavelle striding forward. Collins. And that one too far for Ashley Hatch to get to. Collins had the option of going backside. Now what? Lavelle with control again, trying to find Collins. And she just runs out on the inline. She tried to play it back, falling to the turf. A couple late runs by the Spirit, not resulting, at least at the moment, in a goal. We have seen stoppage time goals. You go back to that first game in the preliminary round when Lynn Williams had one in the 94th minute.
And of course, Bethany Balser getting a late game winner against Utah for Reigns' only win of the first round. The Sky Blues only allowed 3 goals so far, none of them later than the 56th minute.
Eddie. Another corner here for Sky Blue FC. Sky Blue with a couple corners right here. Last time they couldn't take advantage. Now we'll bring Walmo and Zerboni over to the corner. We'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time added on.
Only Sky Blue has earned corners in this match, Josh. Washington has not had a corner.
Towards the spot, headed up, backwards. Punched away momentarily, and then blocked by Bledsoe. Little chaos there in the 6, and now Lavelle full sprint. 2 players back for Sky Blue and Flores and Skrosky.
Great counterattack by Lavelle, but the help came too late for her to do anything productive with it. Sky Blue back in possession.
Skrosky sitting it forward, looking for Richardson. Nielsen.
Nice defensive turn there. Not just booting it out, but booting it up to a teammate.
Eddie. Walmo and Vian offside. She was just sitting behind that back row. You can see Nielsen and Staub just bending over, trying to catch their breath. As we take a look back at the replay, headed back by Staub. Bledsoe able to punch it away, and then either Bledsoe or Huster was able to step in. And Evelyn Vian was handed a yellow card, so the second of the game for Sky Blue.
Of course, we're almost at the point where the yellow cards will reset before we head into the semifinals.
A little bit of frustration by Vian, kicking the ball into the net afterwards.
Just about 2 minutes of stoppage time. Washington Spirit can still make 2 more subs if they've got someone they want to bring in for a shootout.
Staub, always so dangerous.
Those amazing throw-ins. Too bad you can't score directly off a throw-in. It does have to touch somebody else before it goes in the goal.
But when you have it, a player like her, Jess McDonald, that can send that in.
I want to see a throw-off, right? I want to see a North Carolina versus Washington Spirit skills challenge.
Kawasumi on the far touchline, backing up his Huster. Zerboni. This one played out by Staub. Flores. Good combination play there between Flores and Waldmo. Another corner here for Sky Blue. This time they'll take it on the far side. High arcing ball. Another corner here for Sky Blue. Oh, they're going to say goal kick.
All the corners coming from Sky Blue today. It's surprising with Washington's possession. No corners to their credit this game.
Staub going over the top.
Only once in 22 previous meetings has this game, this matchup gone scoreless, and that was June 2018.
And Sheridan just sends it right back. And there is the final whistle. So 2 consecutive games will go to a PK shootout, as this one ends scoreless in regulation. We will have PKs for you when we return. You're watching the NWSL on Twitch. Welcome back. Josh Toll and Jen Cooper with you. And Jen, for the second straight game, we have another game going to PKs. This time it's Washington and Sky Blue, as we take a look back at the highlights from this one between the Spirit and Sky Blue FC.
71st minute. Sky Blue starting to get into the mix. Zerboni making the run down the right side. Working it back with Sabrina Flores, who lofts it in. Onomoto, great idea heading it down, but to put too much power on it, bounces way over the net. 74th minute, other side, Lavelle working with Crystal Thomas in her first appearance, sending it into Huster. Nothing going from that. Another shot in. Huster almost getting her first goal in 4 years, but Sheridan comes up big. Stoppage time, corner by the Sky Blue. Another header, cleared, and eventually cleared again, or rather blocked again. by the Washington defense. Lots of traffic in front of that goal. No one able to find net in this matchup. So looking at the bracket, one of these teams is going on, Josh, but it's going to come down to PKs just like it did for Houston versus Utah. Of course, Portland-Houston playing the early semifinal next Wednesday. Reign-Chicago winner will take on the winner of this match in the later semifinal, and then everybody looking to make that championship game Sunday, July 26th.
Yesterday, Houston was able to pull off the victory in PKs. Now, will it be the Spirit or will it be Sky Blue? We're just moments away from finding out who will move on to the semifinals, as Aubrey Bledsoe will head out for Washington and Kaylin Sheridan for Sky Blue FC. Waldmo will step up first.
Of course it's Waldmo. She had 7 straight penalties converted. Those were her first 7 professional goals.
Waldmo, one of 3 players for Sky Blue FC to play every minute so far here in this NWSL Challenge Cup. Big moment for the 5th-year player.
And Bledsoe has stopped a Waldmo PK in the past.
And this time, Waldmo puts it in the right corner for the first PK try.
It's a good shooter to have go first. She's done this many times before. Solid right foot. Bledsoe guesses the wrong way. Nice way for Sky Blue to start the shootout.
And for Lavelle, she will come up first for the Spirit.
We haven't seen her take a PK in NWSL before.
And she puts it in the corner. So both shooters on their first try connect with the back of the net.
Smartly placed, didn't need a lot of pace. It was just out of the reach of Kaylin Sheridan, who was going the other way. Well faked by Rose Lavelle.
And now Naho Kawasumi talked about how she would most likely be taking one of these kicks, and she'll step up second.
If you've done it in a World Cup final, you should be able to do it here.
And she puts it in the left corner. Right in the same spot that Rose Lavelle just went for Washington.
Players doing a good job of not giving away which direction they're going to kick. And for a keeper, once you've made a decision, it's too late to change your momentum and get to the other side. Well placed by Kawasumi into the far left corner. Keeping it low, too.
And now Ashley Hatch will step up.
No one on this Spirit squad has taken a PK in NWSL other than Tori Huster.
And Hatch puts it in the right corner. Everyone has converted so far. We have yet to see a save from either of these keepers.
And if you're a keeper, you're lucky to get one, right? Really, the pressure's on the shooter. A shooter has really no excuse not to get it on frame and wide of the keeper. More of a power shot there coming from Hatch. 2 for 2 after each team having 2 kickers.
And now Dami Richardson. And that one stopped by Bledsoe, the first save here in PKs.
Bledsoe with the save to possibly give the Spirit an advantage. Richardson with her right, not as far over to the edge as the other kicks. Bledsoe able to get over and get down.
That's huge, just like you said, just not getting far enough into that corner, allowing Bledsoe to get on top, and now Sam Staub will come up with her left foot.
Bledsoe, of her 9 previous PKs faced, had saved 4 of them. That makes her 5th save. Of course, first in a PK shootout.
And Staub sends it over.
So we are level after 3 shooters. Got to get that on frame. Nothing the keeper had to do there. Lots of power on that with the left foot, but too much power, too much height.
And now that will bring up McCall Zerboni. And Zerboni puts it in the right corner for Sky Blue FC.
Believe it or not, having played every season in NWSL, that's her first penalty kick attempt. And of course, she converts it with veteran authority. Good pace, good placement. Low, hard to save, and I like that reaction.
And now Crystal Thomas for the Spirit. And that one, maybe Sheridan got a piece, but enough power from Thomas to send it in the back of the net.
Well placed by Thomas. This time, Caitlin Sheridan read it right, but couldn't get to the ball. It was kind of not too high, not too low. So close, Sheridan almost had a piece of that.
And that will bring up Elizabeth Eddy now for Sky Blue.
Last shooter of the first 5.
And she puts it in the left corner.
So the Spirit have to convert this kick to keep the shootout going. Otherwise, Sky Blue with the upset. To the far corner. Well placed. Low and driven and as wide as it could go without going out.
And now Bailey Feist will step up. And that one stopped by Caitlin Sheridan, and Sky Blue FC will move on to the semifinals. And you can see the huddle there around Caitlin Sheridan.
The game was mostly the Spirits. They controlled possession in the first half, though we did see Waldmo get across in front of goal. Aubrey Bledsoe, of course, shutting that down before a teammate could touch it and put it in the net. Late in the first half, Tori Huster, great lofting ball from the outside. Sanchez getting ahead to it, cannot get it past Sheridan. Great look on goal from the rookie. Second half, we finally started to see more attack from Sky Blue. Zerboni from the right flank, crossing it, not crossing it and sending it back to Flores, who then crosses it in. Onomoto, great idea on the header. Too much power, too much pace, bounces it over the goal. 74th minute, back in Spirits possession, working up the side. Crystal Thomas, her first game of the tournament. Feist getting a shot, Huster getting a shot too. Big body save from Caitlin Sheridan to keep them scoreless. Such an intense game. And then in stoppage, a corner from Sky Blue. Another header situation. Bledsoe coming out to get her hand on it. Looked like Tori Huster. Not Huster, yeah, Huster getting over to make the clear with her body. And then PK's Sheridan coming out big on the final shot to give Sky Blue the advantage over Spirit, and Sky Blue heading to the semifinals.
Sky Blue with a big win and another upset in the semifinals. This one coming from kicks as we take a look at the bracket. Portland and Houston, they have already cemented their way to the semifinals, which will begin on Wednesday. Of course, Sky Blue now waiting for Reign and Chicago to play later on tonight to see who they will take on Wednesday.
Sky Blue gets to relax and just watch this game tonight. The pressure's over for now. Now they just get to watch and see, all right, who are we going to face next Wednesday? Reign versus Chicago tonight. Semifinals Wednesday the 22nd. Championship game Sunday, July 26th.
And of course, semifinals and the championship, that will be at Rio Tinto Stadium. So just one more game here tonight at Zions Bank Stadium before the move is made. But for Sky Blue FC, they come out on top, gain the victory in PKs. It will go down as a draw, but 4-3 final PK count is the total as Sky Blue now awaits the winner of OL Reign in Chicago. For our crew, Jen Cooper, I'm Josh Toll. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 on Twitch.